All right, what's going on? It is the OCPD coach, Shannon Williams, and I'm back with another video. It's been a minute. Whoa, it's been a while, but you guys should be used to this. I do this all the time. I stream, I make videos for a little while and then take a break and come back. So that's just part of what I do. So apologies if you are somebody who needs somebody to consistently be here making videos. This is not that channel. I can't do that. That's just not something I'm able to do. But what I can do is come and create authentic videos. So anytime I do come make videos, I want them to be meaningful and not just cookie cutter videos that I put together. So this video is about something I just learned about last week, which is the fact that I have autism, or I am on the autism spectrum. And it's something that I probably should have pieced together a long time ago. But you live life in your bubble. So you're aware of what goes on in your bubble. And my bubble did not include autism. I had some autism awareness, but it was very, very minimal. So that's where we're at. I need to go back to Toastmasters. I can hear myself saying so. But this is the point of this video. I wanted to just share with you all what my journey looked like from thinking I had or may have autism to going and getting an official diagnosis and what accommodations I've been trying to make knowing I have it. So that is the plan for today, and I'll just try to hop right into it. Starting out with this. What led to it? Why did I go and get an official diagnosis? What made me even try to put the puzzle together of my life and come to the conclusion that, hey, I might have autism. So I've always had these sensory issues that I couldn't describe since I was a little boy. So anytime I go in the restroom, for instance, if there are magazines or pictures, I would always cover them all up. So I would take a towel, take a rug, and cover it up. If it's paper towel, I never could look at that stuff if my body was going to touch different types of material. So one of those materials is lotion, anything creamy, anything wet. So if I'm touching anything wet like water, getting in the shower, something like that, then that's when my sensory overload kind of hit me, and I would instantly get frustrated or uncomfortable or just anxious, I guess is the word you could say, just anxious. So these are things that I learned to live with it my whole life. Just always dealt with it my entire life. I would literally plan which homes I would stay at or go in the restroom of based off how the bathroom looked. So it wasn't even just that the bathroom had to be clean. It was I just needed nothing to be present. Another one that is weird to me is jewelry. It's jewelry. There's a word associated with it now that I know, but I hate jewelry. So you see me wearing a watch, I wear a ring, and that's the most. You'll never see me wearing anything on my neck. You never see me have my ears pierced. Maybe it's the germs. I just think about all the germs that go into that go into the ears and the neck and necklaces and people getting different materials clunky in it. And I can't even look at it. So if I see people walk in, they have certain jewelry on, I literally cannot look at the jewelry. It's something that just makes me uncomfortable. And it's not even a fear, it's just disgust. It's a disgust. That's what it is. That's one of the sensory issues. There are a couple more things that kind of go with the sensory issues, but I want to move forward to the next part, which was social struggles. So I never realized that I had any social struggles until I think when I got off my Adderall, when I stopped taking it and took my break, I really started to see the difference in how much energy I had when I was on versus off, and the amount of energy it requires for me to be in a social setting around people, even communicating with family and friends is something that it's always been it's something I can do, but there's always been a lot more energy required than I thought it should be. So small talk, somebody's calling and hey, how you doing? Okay, that's a pointless question to me. I'm talking to you, so you know I'm here. things like that, just the small talk and conversations. I've never been a fan of that. When people ask, "Hey, how was your weekend? What did you do over the weekend? What do you do for this? What do you do for that?" That's always been a struggle for me. And obviously, I go and handle it, deal with it because that's part of life. That's something that's been there with me. Another thing was eye contact. I can make eye contact with people, no problem. But if you ask me a question and I need to think about the answer, you're going to see me look off into the distance or look that way. And then I'll try to get a good answer. Because what I tend to do, having ADHD and autism plus OCPD, but mainly the ADHD and autism, I get distracted by whatever I'm looking at. So if you're talking to me and I'm looking at you, I'm gonna get distracted by your nose or your eyes. If you keep moving your eyes, whatever the case might be, I'll start to get distracted myself. And that is something where it's easier for me to just look away if I'm having a conversation where you're requiring me to think, but I don't know. Another one was just processing delays. So I could be sharp in the conversation as long as I'm 100% comfortable with whatever the conversation is going to be about. Then you can really just see me come in and answer questions, have a good dialogue back and forth. If you put me in a meeting though, this happens at work where it's something extremely technical and requires me to go and get more knowledge or make a educated decision based off knowledge that I should have before the meeting. That's something I force myself to do, but it's always a struggle because I'm always just thinking I'm forgetting something or I'm thinking I'm having a hard time explaining whatever the issue is. Just all these different things that go into my head where it just makes you wonder if your career decision was the accurate career decision. You start to say, "Hey, am I able to keep up with this?" But those are just some of the struggles that led me to get my diagnosis. Let me tell you about how I got the diagnosis now. So this is how I got my diagnosis. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but level 1 autism, for the most part, it impacts me with the sensors, and then socially, I have different struggles, but I grow through it. I've grown through it and learned how to deal with it in different ways. And I'm becoming a lot more open and free with the social aspect of it. So if I'm not ready to talk to somebody, I don't. I've actually put on my phone where I get no text messages that come through. I have it all on do not disturb, calls, do not disturb. And then I can go when I'm ready to go and check these things out. I can go and do it when I'm in that state of mind. So the way I got diagnosed was pretty simple. I went to Prosper Health. And let me make sure I'm telling you the exact name of what it was. Yep, Prosper Health. So it's a website. You can go to prosperhealth.io, and they have individuals that specialize in different mental health issues or different struggles that you might have. I went to I think I did this 3 weeks ago. I went to the site, was able to put all of my information in, and then I found the doctor or a psychiatrist. This is always where whatever it is, you know what I'm trying to say, the person who could diagnose me. So I went to the individual who could diagnose me and checked out their page, noticed that I had to set up 3 appointments. So you have the first appointment, which is a 90-minute session. And that was just an introduction for me where we went through a simple questionnaire. The second 90-minute session, I think was the day after. So I think I did them back to back. And that one, we went deeper into some of the issues that I discussed. And we really just went into specific examples of scenarios and how long I've been dealing with them. So we went all the way back to childhood to try to see what I could remember, what I was impacted by. And then after that, we had a 1 week break and I went back on another Monday I don't even know if it was scheduled for 90 minutes, but this was where I got my actual results of, hey, you are on the spectrum. This is what it is. This is what it looks like for you in your life. And here are some resources that you can try to use if you need help with these different things, these different struggles that you might have. So all of that whole process was a 3 week process, which for me was great because I thought it was going to be a much longer process. I think that's actually why it took me so long, because I thought it was going to be a process that was ridiculously long and drawn out. So I was really happy that I was able to find somebody who could help me. We could talk, we could chat, get everything out, and then just get right to the point of making whatever the diagnosis was going to be official. So yeah, um, ADHD and I have OCPD, which are things that are very, for me, it's not a shock. It's just something I'm dealing with now. But I'm starting to see my life in a different lens as how I interact, the different things that trigger me. I'm able to just get ahead of it. So my wife got these little earplugs, and they help me out. I put them in, and it doesn't play music or anything, but it just gives me a buffer because I have my sensory for noise is probably my strongest, probably my second strongest one. Just noise, just constant noise, high pitched noise. If somebody's trying to talk, if two people are trying to talk to me at the same time, it just makes me upset, frustrated. It doesn't. It's not really a ramp up period. Just instantly, just it's like somebody has to be quiet because I'm not going to figure anything out. Um, and sorry guys, it's been a minute since I made a video. I'm trying not to make a bunch of edits and cuts just so I can make this video, but um I also just wanted to make sure that I got all this information out. So yeah, if this is something that you think you might be dealing with, if and please go do research on your own past just what I've presented, because it impacts everybody differently. And it is really interesting when you see one disorder interact with another disorder. One thing I had the question I asked, I said, okay, so if I have autism, where does OCPD fit into this? Because obviously the traits are different, but I'm really curious to see how OCPD and autism relate, connect, overlap, any of that stuff, just to make sure any information I'm putting out to you all will be beneficial to you if you have OCPD. But then if there's information out there that I think is OCPD related, but it's really related to my autism, I want to make sure I'm able to give a good disclaimer for that. So I don't have you all out here confused if you don't have autism, if you only have OCPD. And let's talk a few accommodations real quick. And this is something, if you guys want me to dive into any of these conversations deeper, I'm willing to. I think this is actually a great avenue that my channel can go down. Now we can talk more about different things that I'm learning about on the fly. But one accommodation I had to request was for meetings at my job, to try to get all my meetings in one block early in the morning or whenever we can start in the morning. That way I can have the rest of my work day to just focus and actually get into work. Because a lot of times I have a hard time getting into work if I know I have a meeting coming up or something that's going to cut or interfere with that recording meeting. So I have always requested to record meetings. That way I can go back and check them out later to get the information as I need it. Because if you show me a video, you show me how to do something right now, and I can't do anything with it, then it means nothing. But if I can go back and watch that video while I'm doing whatever the task is, then I can actually make sure I'm learning and the content is useful at that point. Another thing is asking to provide feedback later. So when I'm in meetings, instead of me trying to force an answer or force myself to say something in a meeting, because I've never liked doing that, now I'll start to say, okay, let me take a minute after this meeting, get my thoughts together, and then give you an answer, give you whatever information you need. And you'd be surprised. These little adjustments that I've been requesting, these accommodations that I've been requesting, have just made work so much easier for me. I go in, I get my meetings done. I can then work on whatever I need to work on. When I need content from meetings, I can record the meetings, get the notes, whatever I need to do. And then even being able to provide feedback later just gives me assurance that, hey, I'm giving you the right information, not rushed information. And I can make sure I've dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's. So that's it. I mean, this is me coming and telling you all that I do have my official diagnosis. This is not something that I'm going to allow to tamper with my life in a negative way. As much as I can control, I'm going to see what I can do to just use these different things to my advantage. Like I always have to do with life. You got to just use whatever tools you have and make the best out of it. So again, if you guys want me to talk on a specific topic, if you want me to go deeper into the details of my autism and um, just give you information that I have, I'm willing to do that. I would love to just be of assistance to you guys and really make sure I'm giving you the content that you need to hear. All right. So until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. Keep fighting for your life. Peace.